Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy Podcast, episode 499. For the week of Tuesday, May 4th, 2021, my name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this week.
Brock Figure.
Boba Fett.
And Boba Fett.
And not Charlie.
Not Charlie. That would be Kevin and Toby as always. Hello, everyone. It is May the 4th be with you. I spent May the 4th Eve watching Star Trek Next Generation documentaries from the Blu-ray set. So.
Horrible nerd.
I will only celebrate May the 4th once the original Star Wars trilogy is released in 4K unaltered.
We got to start adding that to the New Year's gambling pool.
No, because that is...
You're just going to say it's never happening?
I think so incredibly unlikely in our I don't say our lifetime, but anytime soon.
I could see it now. We're a bunch of like 90-year-old men. They're going to release it in like 12K, and we're like, yes,
finally. I feel like I mentioned
there's no more stores. You have to order it online. What?
I feel like I've mentioned this before, but in the meantime, you should go to Project 4K77, which is these guys found original master film reels of the 77 of Star Wars and Return of the Jedi, and they are currently working on Empire Strikes Back, and they have multiple editions you can get depending on how much film grain you want, or if you want to remain, you want that sort of filtered grain version. They have multiple audio tracks, so it's about you have to join their group, and it's about like a 60 gig download per movie because it's a raw 4K transfer of a film reel. So, but these guys have spent significant time and money getting the stuff to be perfect. This isn't the despecialized thing. This is actually restoration done on original film reels. So this is better than the despecialized version. So yeah, go look these guys up. Project 4K77. Waiting on Empire. That's the big one. Apparently Jedi was just like, they're just like, oh, we just converted it. We just like recorded it and it was done. Like it was good to go. Like they didn't have to do a lot. Star Wars was a big thing, but they said Empire's very difficult. So I feel like it was like 2 years ago. I've been waiting for Empire for like 2 years and they're still working on it. But hey, whatever. They'll get it faster than Disney. Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't announce anything today, did they? They didn't announce crap.
There's some toys, right?
Yeah, whatever. They announce toys all the time. I figured they may do something, but probably. I guess.
No, keep going. I'll say my piece in a second.
I was going to say, I'm assuming they just, maybe they had bigger plans, but the last year, obviously, COVID kind of cut a bunch of production stuff down. So maybe they would, we had Bad Batch launch today. But I have not finished Rebels, and I realized I need to do a full Clone Wars Rebels Bad Batch just run through. So
you've started watching them and just lost your way?
So I watched the first couple episodes of Clone Wars and thought it was horrible. Because the first couple episodes of Clone Wars are horrible, and I just never got further into it. And so people were like, "Oh, Clone Wars is amazing." And so when Rebels started, I'm like, "Okay, well, it's the same. I'll watch here." And I watched the first 2 seasons of Rebels, and I really liked it, but I could tell that I was missing stuff because I had not seen the majority of Clone Wars. So I said, "Okay, I'll hold off on this and let me actually make some time at some point and get to Clone Wars." And now they have a third show, and I'm like, damn it.
Well, here's what I would tell you. I haven't watched all of Clone Wars, and I don't think you need to.
There's a recommended.
Yes, there is. But here's my highest recommendation for anybody interested. The last 4 episodes of Clone Wars are one story, just spread out over 4 episodes. That is, if you count that as a standalone thing, that is top 3 of all Star Wars for me, maybe. If not, maybe top 4, but somewhere right in there. It's that good. Those
Nice.
final 4 episodes.
Nice.
So anybody looking for it, it's probably like 2 hours. It's like a movie,
Yeah,
half hour each. Yeah, fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, definitely want to get to that because I remember I watched the Clone or the movie that they did. The actual theatrical
horrible
movie, but it was just like, it was so nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. Give them the benefit of the doubt. I think their intention at first was, let's make a kid show, and they're like, oh wait, we can actually make this awesome, which is always neat.
Yeah, the thing I was going to say was today, like I got an email in my mailbox like Star Wars May the 4th shopping blah blah blah. It's like, let me see what they got. I clicked on the link and it took me. You are now in the waiting room. They had a waiting room for you to get into like the stores and stuff. Now it's like, okay,
yeah. I mean that's everything. That's they do that with. They don't want to crash their site, so they allow a certain amount of people at a time to go through and make their purchases. Yeah, that's what they've been doing for the PS5 and Xbox for the past year, and it's not super common. I think even for the Star Wars stuff they had at Disneyland, they were like, oh yeah, some of this stuff we're not even going to sell in shop. We're just going to sell this online, or Disney World. So like we're just jump online and buy it. We're going to skip the actual in-store release because we don't want 1,000 people showing up and killing each other for whatever Star Wars.
Well, it's Florida. Aren't already 1,000 people showing up because there's no restrictions anymore?
Yeah, of course. Is that Toby? Thought I heard someone say something.
Oh.
This
is where you say, but this isn't a Star Wars podcast. We've got some comic books to talk about.
This is not a Star Wars podcast. This is a comic book podcast. Before we get to the news this week, we got some store news, some personal news we're going to talk about here. I'd say this has been a long time coming, but actually it came together very quickly. It was thought about in some fashion for quite some time, but the actual thing happened rapidly. So for our local customers at Comics Conspiracy, or even our mail order customers, we are expanding the shop, not a second shop, and not physically expanding the shop we're in. Although we did make an offer on the place next to us, but they are staying there. So we had talked with the landlord about expanding out the shop next to us, so taking over 2 spots. But unfortunately, people that are there are it was an after school place. During COVID, we had no idea what was going on. I figured once things started to return, they may start back up doing some after school stuff, and they kind of really hadn't. So I inquired, and they said, "Oh yeah, they're sticking around. They should start back up in the fall." And they extended their lease and everything like that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So, I
just remember the UPS stickers that just flapped in the wind. They're still there.
So there's another empty unit, and I was like, can't split the shop and can't force people to move. So, not that I am mad at our location. Our location is amazing, but we've been rapidly expanding and needing more space. So this is a sort of I don't want to say like plan B, because it actually was what I had originally thought about back in like 2019, but never really did a lot of research into it. So we've rented a warehouse space, and I know there's a lot of shops that have been doing this just because back issues are literally never ending. They will never be fewer back issues. Storage is a premium in California, especially, and
storage spaces shopping, you can't do much in anyway. So it's just you're just shoving stuff in there and then pulling it out and putting it back in. You're not really leaving it to work with it.
What's that?
The storage space stuff. Like we had a storage for a little while, but it was like,
oh yeah,
I would go over there, grab books, just the boxes to bring back, and then it wasn't really efficient.
No, storage doesn't work for what we're doing because you can't actually work in the space. So while it's going to take a couple months to get everything going, we're some operational stuff like storage for supplies and overstock and moving all our shipping stuff over there, which Brock has been kicking ass with for a number of years now, and we're doing more and more. So getting that out of the store, cleaning up my garage, cleaning up the back room at the store so it's not fire trap, because we are. I mean, it's to the ceiling, literally to the ceiling. In both here and in my garage and the store, just we've picked up so many collections, so much stuff coming in all the time, and when I say overstock, I don't mean like we bought too much. I intentionally purchase decent quantity of big selling titles because we keep selling them. I can't fit 5 copies of every graphic novel on the shelf, so we get 1 or 2 out there, and then I keep extra in the back to restock because we sell it faster than I'm able to restock from the distributors. So we are continuously churning this stuff, and I'm just like, we have hit a wall, like a serious wall here. So we're going to be doing a ton of cool stuff. If you use Comic Hub. Right now, we're one of the test stores where you can purchase stuff on our site, on the Comic Hub app, and the customer site, as well as our store website. So it's all linked together. We're going to be adding back issues on there. Again, not 20,000 back issues tomorrow. This is going to be a slow and steady process over literally forever because, well, again, we'll never stop getting stuff. eBay for big stuff, big sets, weird stuff, dumping oddball stuff. eBay is going to take care of a lot of that as well. We have a lot
of silver, like silver stuff up. That's the condition is fine. It's not something that's bin worthy.
Yeah, just beater copies that they just aren't worth putting in the bin, not worth putting on the wall. When we occasionally get CGC stuff, I do it there. I don't have a way to do it in the store properly, so I never bother with CGC in the store. So that stuff will be on there. But the sets is a big part. Our overstocked used graphic novels, so we've got, I will say thousands, maybe not thousands of, thousands and thousands, but definitely 4 digits of used graphic novels that we just don't have space for. We're buying constantly, and it's just become to the point where it's just endlessly more than we have space for. So overstock stuff for that, and extras, copies, and oddball stuff, that's all going online. And so all this stuff's purchasable. Local store pickup. So if you're going to be local, you can just browse our website or browse Comic Hub and buy it on there. Okay, we'll usually have it to the store the next day at worst, because we're gonna have Brock's gonna be going back and forth, and bring on a couple new staff members for the first time in. When did I hire
Marshall? Was 10 years ago.
Yeah. So have a couple new employees coming on.
5 years ago, we were still at the old location.
Yeah. Might see Kevin down there once in a while helping out if he's bored. Toby, 2:00 in the morning, told him if he's bored and he wants to help out with some stuff, he can trip back on the clock a little bit here. So this is a big deal, because we've obviously seen insane growth this past year, and I'm not stupid. I mean, with things opening up and travel starting up again, and we're going to talk about some comic conventions that are now scheduled for 2022, so we'll talk about that in a minute. We could see things level out a tad, but it's just become such a bigger thing than it was when we started. And even when we moved to the new location, I was like, man, we got to struggle just to pay the new rent at this new place. And now I'm like, fuck this, rent a new warehouse, expand, move. The sales are out of control.
Your employees
sales are out of control, and we just got to get the stuff moving, because I'm sitting on, I'm not even joking, hundreds of thousands of dollars of stock that I can't do anything with, because we just don't have the manpower, we don't have the space for it, we don't have the way to get it out. It's stuff comes in, and it just, I'm not Mile High. I'm not a hoarder. I'm not there to just have massive piles of comic books. This stuff's for sale, and I want to get through it. we're picking up an almost 200 long box collection of backstock from another shop, and that's on top of the 100 plus almost 200 long boxes that we have, and endless new collections.
And at this rate, we're the only place in the South Bay that really has a decent amount of back issues, like that's constantly curated.
So we do not have. We generally, and we never really have. Occasionally, something good will come in, but it depends on what you're looking for. If you are looking for 70s till now single issues to fill runs with some modern keys, we're really the only shop doing that, because the other shops that do back issues are purely Golden Age, Silver Age, key CGC shops. Yep. And that's amazing. That's great. Those books are huge sellers. They're hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars of stock. All these books are 4-digit, 5-digit number. They're massive value to these titles. But I'm just, that's not. I'm not gonna say that's not my thing. I'd love that stuff if it came in, but I like modern books. I like $3-4 back issues. I like sets. I like used trade paperbacks. So it's sort of what we've carved out for ourselves. And while it's more work for less money, it's someone's got to do something with that bulk. And those have always been my favorite books. I could care less about Silver Age key issues. I'm not going to throw it away if it comes in, obviously, but I am not a key guy. I'm a full run guy. That's always been my thing with comics. So I want to sell runs of great comics, whether it's from last year or the 80s or the 70s or the 60s or 40s or whenever it is, really. But again, that stuff just doesn't come in very often. So it is a big deal. Again, it came together very, very quickly. So, don't look for anything tomorrow or probably June and maybe July. This is going to I brought a couple boxes from my garage and threw them in there, and that's what's in there. We don't have internet. We don't have fixtures. We don't have computers. This is going to take months and months to get fully set up. But that said, we're in the start of it, and I'm super excited.
And you'll be able to see the progress on social media if you follow the store.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I mean we'll kind of keep people updated, especially when stuff starts going live. Because if you're comicsconspiracy.biz, that's where our stuff is now for our new products. If you're on customer.comichub.com or the Comic Hub app and you're connected to our store, you can search our in-stock stuff. But again, that doesn't include used trades. That doesn't include back issues. So there's stuff in there that isn't there. This is going to fix that. We're going to get our overstock, our back issues, our used trades, all that stuff listed. Again, not tomorrow. It's going to take a significant amount of time, but that's going to be on there, as well as our back stock, or through eBay. And again, if you just search eBay Comics Conspiracy, there is Conspiracy Comics. That is not us. We are Comics Conspiracy.
That's right.
So, but yeah, you'll see it. Then we got 400 or 500 items on there that fluctuate pretty regularly, and our guy Marshall has been doing it for the past year. I mean, we've always sold stuff, but just very little, just a little stuff here and there. So he's been actively expanding out, and we're gonna completely overhaul the eBay store, our current eBay listings, and reformat everything. And I got some cool ideas for picture setups, and yeah. I told Toby I'd buy, because I want to get, this is again, Toby is in the process of clearing out storage and going through his 20-plus-year-old comic collection that he hasn't touched in years, many years.
And you made me the worst offer ever. You made me the offer going, I could give you all the books, and I can work for you to get the books organized and sorted and put them up on eBay.
That's what I said. You said you just want to get rid of everything. And I said, well, Toby, I've got a fantastic offer for you. You said you want to help out at the warehouse. Why don't you let me buy the books for you? And then you can work at the warehouse and list them on eBay for me and sell them for me. It's a win-win. It's a win-win, Toby.
Where's the old of the century? I think your offer was, I'll just take half. You do all the work. I'll just take half.
I take much more than half. So, So that's that. We'll keep you guys updated as more happens.
I can't wait for my shipping bench.
We're gonna get we got some time. We're gonna get stuff set up. Toby, I did wanna. I don't know what you want to say or how far you've gotten, but I told me a little bit.
The Purge, whatever sequel number they're on, is coming. I think they're on number 12 now, so the Purge 12 is coming out soon in theaters near you. That's where I'll be selling all my books. No, I'm kidding. I'll be doing something similar. I guess I'll announce it on this podcast when I start throwing stuff on eBay. I'm nowhere near there yet, so I'll probably be in direct competition of Comic Conspiracy. Ryan might be better. I think. Well,
you're gonna have like San Diego comic exclusives from like 2001.
Yeah, there's a lot of San Diego exclusives crap. Multiple copies because I'm me. There's quite a bit of toys I'm going to be throwing up, and quite a bit of comics because I feel like there's certain runs I'm going to keep, like the Cassie Batgirl, the Dixon Birds, some oddball stuff that I don't think will ever get collected in trades. Those I'll keep. Everything else, I'm legitimately thinking about throwing them on the eBay or selling them because. Look, I'm big time into the hardcovers and the epic collections. That's how I enjoy reading the books. I haven't touched these comic book boxes in 20 years, 15 years. So if I haven't touched them in 15 years, they just got to go. I mean, there's certain key things I was fishing out of there. I found my Gambit first appearance, which I was really hoping that it was safe, and it was safe. There's a Mickey Mouse comic. I'm really, really hoping it's still safe as well. Supposedly, there's a Walking Dead somewhere in there, which I haven't found yet.
Walking Dead #1.
Yeah. But, there's definitely some gems in there because I remember having multiple copies of the X-23 first appearance, the NYX book, because I really just liked the cover. I actually found out in hindsight that was the first appearance of X-23. I didn't even know at the time because I just really, really dug that cover. But hopefully that's all still there. I have to toss about 2 or 3 short boxes because of water damage. They just had to go. There was no saving them. One box had to debag, but some of the stuff, happened. Stuff happened, but I'm going with Ryan's timeline. So everything is in my house now. I can't keep it because I don't have space for it. So I'm going to be doing a real big purge real soon. I'm aiming to be in business at the same time Ryan's warehouse is in business. And as I always like to fight Ryan Higgins, I will fight Ryan Higgins on this one as well.
Well, I brought this up not to put you in the spot about it or anything like that, but because I thought it was an important thing to talk to people about. Because again, this is a little bit of the motivation to get the stuff and get the stuff listed is because we've talked about this on the podcast from time to time. Everything is on fire right now. Prices of everything is out of control.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been sitting on a collection of comics and you're just like, and look, I don't mean like 15 comics in a shoebox that are trashed. I mean, if you legitimately have been sitting on a big comic collection and you're just like, I'm kind of done with this. Like, I don't like Toby. I want the hardcovers. I don't care about the singles. Or I've got all these toys.
Singles I'll keep, but look, I haven't had these short boxes in literally 15 years, right? So, you were flabbergasted by the pricing on some of this stuff when we were talking to you about it. Yeah. I was
Walking Dead. I mean, that stuff, but that X-23 book is like $1,000 comic now.
I was very, very thrown off by that one. So I really hope to dear God, I really do have multiple copies. This is all by memory, right? This is all by memory.
You were asking me about You were asking me about Darkhawk. Did you have Darkhawk #1?
That I actually do not know. I have my original #2 or 3 that I bought at like the airport before I went back to Europe when I was a kid. I know I have that one probably. I don't know if I ever got #1. I probably do. I have to. So occasionally when you have the quarter book sales, I grab a short box full, and if Darkhawk is in there, I definitely grab Darkhawk. So Darkhawk is one of those where those, and they're not bag and board, so it's just a short box of books. This will have to make me go through every single book. Through every single box. So
well, here's one for you, Kevin. That Darkhawk #1 CGC 9/8 is about a $400 comic now. So this is just the world we live in. That's why when Toby was asking about it.
Insane.
Yeah. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you've got a big collection that's been sitting in storage forever and you never touch it, this is the time, man. Like everyone's buying, prices are crazy. Even raw, like CGC obviously is a good investment, but like good luck getting that back this calendar year if you send it in today. CGC is so backed up. Did you guys read this article on Vice? Maybe. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan. Though I think my stuff has a long ways coming. I mean, it's many years coming.
Yeah, it's on Motherboard, which is Vice's tech and video game blog. Go look up this article called "I Need to Explain to You Just How Dire America's Pokemon Card Crisis Is." That's the article. It's on Vice. Go look up this article. It's fantastic.
People are selling top loaders like they're selling watches on the street, man. I got your top loaders here. I got your top loaders here.
Toby, again, legitimately, card top loaders are going for like 10 times value because they're out of production. They can't make them till like next year.
What?
People are paying like double digit money for a top loader.
Can old basketball cards come back into
everything?
Sports is on fire like it hasn't been since we were kids, Toby.
Wait, are you serious?
Sports cards, sports memorabilia, and sports cards especially. Unbelievable right now.
Boxes of basketball cards, like boxes, and
again, a lot of it's garbage, and a lot of it's not going to sell.
Of it, I think a majority of my shit is probably garbage, but I also have some Pokemon cards. I realized I found a box of Pokemon cards in there, so
they're real, dude. Sell it.
They're definitely real. There's no question about it. I used to work at a shop before Ryan Shop, so they're definitely real. I just don't know if the one that everybody wants, but they're definitely
bring
real.
him in. I'll tell you. All
right. If you're into He-Man toys, I'll be purging a lot of those because I bought. So it's weird, man. As I'm organizing my crap, right, I'm like, look, I was known to be the duplicate guy, mainly because I once lost everything in a flood because my place got flooded and when I was a kid and everything I had was gone. Mm-hmm. So for some reason, ever since I kind of been buying duplicates in case something happens, and it's a habit I'm trying not to do anymore, but go away easily. But there's some He-Man figures where I usually did 2 because I want to keep one in the box and one open. Some of them I had like 3 or 4, so I'm even thinking like, did I buy a case and I never finished trading with people, or like because I use them for trade bait or whatever, right? But like sometimes I buy cases and I'm like, I'm putting sets together. I'm like, why is there 4 of these? And even like mangas, like I must have like forgotten that I own certain ones because I'm like, finally. Look, for many years, all my stuff has been spread out to multiple places, right? This is like the first time where I've been steady in one place long enough, and I'm slowly gathering all the stuff that I own into one place. So all my mangas were like spread out, between places. So this is the first time I'm actually putting the puzzle pieces back together. Yeah. And I'm like, Dragon Ball, I have 2 number 14s.
If you have not sent the pictures of your manga to Kevin, send it to him because I want to see him laugh and laugh. Oh. It was so good. I love it.
Yeah.
You're like, here's my collection. 2, 7, 9, 9, and 28.
Yeah. Well, again, they're not. I mean, I haven't found all of them yet, but like GTO,
Obviously.
I was like 1 through 9, 15, 16, and then 21, and then 22, 22, 22. I'm like, what? Why do I have 3 copies of 22? Like,
it made me laugh so. It's like the most Toby thing ever. It's so good.
Toby's collection seems to be like what happens when I'm selling stuff like that. It's like it ends up being choppy because we've already sold them all.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I look, if something got damaged at some point, I would replace it, and maybe I never got rid of the old one. Maybe they have like fucked up pages in them. I honestly don't know. Like I'm just like, look, this book goes with this book, put on the shelf. It's finally together. I'm like, 22 again? Like, what the hell? Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be hitting you up once I start Purge and get some money in. I need to do some orders on the missing Dragon Balls. I haven't found them all yet. I know I don't have the whole run, but I like to have the whole run one day. Yeah.
We'll get to it. All right. We got some comic news to talk about. But you hear more about the crap we're selling soon.
Yeah, and the same as my Purge, because, whenever Ryan is advertising something, I have to advertise something against it. So. That's the Goliath versus David match, but it's all right. Ryan has always been the Goliath, always been the David. That's fine. White man. So help me, please.
Let's talk about DC Fandom, the pretty well received convention, virtual convention from last year.
Oh, did I miss? Did that already happen?
No, so the first one did.
Oh yeah. But the new one that just announced it.
Yeah, so they announced new Fandom October 16th, 2021. So a few mere months from now. What's that? It's 5 months. What the hell is this? May, June, July, August, October. Yeah, 5 months. DC Fandom's back. We'll see what they're going to announce. So Suicide Squad will be out by that point. I would expect we'll see first Flash footage, maybe first Rock, Black Adam footage.
Yeah. I'm going to say yes on Rock and say no on Flash.
Okay,
just my guess.
Probably some other stuff announced, some other movies announced.
It'll be some more of the Batman stuff.
Oh yeah, Batman will probably be the big thing. Yeah, clearly, because Batman will be the next released movie after Fandom.
There'll probably be some more teasing of like Aquaman 2, and if they're doing a Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
3.
I think we'd hear something about Wonder Woman as well. Maybe a name. And I thought they did a pretty good job of mixing in the comic stuff and the video game. They had Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad games got announced, so that's cool. And then all the Infinite Frontier stuff came out at Fandom as well. That's where they sort of kind of first talked about that.
Teased it.
Yeah, and it'd be so easy for Fandom to be movie, TV, movie, and that's it, right? But I thought they did a pretty decent job of getting the comic stuff in there as well.
I don't think there was too much comic stuff because because COVID hit and everything got jostled so much.
Well, but there was. That's what I mean. I thought they did a really good job of talking about comic stuff there because they had all the milestone. They had the milestone stuff,
guys. Yeah, they had those guys. But I think like this time around, they'll probably have more concrete stuff, and just give us more content on the comic book side of it.
Yeah, I would hope so. San Diego tried. Did anyone even pay attention? I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. Did anyone even hear or know that the WonderCon live stuff happened? It was like nothing. I don't know how bad they're fumbling this. I guess we'll see. Are they doing Comic-Con in July? When's the Comic-Con live stream stuff? I forget when they're doing it this year. The at home. I don't know. It doesn't pop up right here. Yeah, but they're doing something very similar before they do their sort of convention at the end of the year. So, I thought easily Fandom was the best of all the streaming cons from last year. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Talked about this a few minutes ago, but this is a Bay Area thing, but obviously it's a big deal. We're just talking about WonderCon, Comic-Con. Sorry, obviously once they bought WonderCon, moved away from a number of years after. I don't know, when did they buy Comic-Con?
Oh, the last time it was here.
No,
but they didn't. They owned it. San Diego owned it before they moved it, right? They didn't
buy
it right away.
It was always part of San Diego. Well, I'm sure at one point they probably bought it, but
it wasn't always part of San Diego. But
it was part of San Diego for a long time.
Yeah.
I would say I think it was like I want to say 2010, 2011 is when they had their last one.
That's when they moved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had their last one up here because I went to the last one. So.
Yeah. So we are getting Fan Expo is coming to San Francisco for 2022, which is going to be at the same location. It's going to be the Moscone Center in San Francisco. So, that's cool. Fan Expo does pretty big convention stuff. So, we've obviously been missing a real big comic convention in the greater Bay Area. There's been little starts and stops in Silicon Valley, and less said about that, the better, I guess. And, probably I have to assume Silicon Valley Comic-Con will forever be known as the final convention they forced Stan Lee to go to, which was like the worst. I believe that was the last one he did. He may have done another event after that, but I believe that's the last actual convention he was at.
I just whenever you talk about that, I have flashbacks of Charlie and his kids taking a picture with.
Yeah,
it's rough.
I mean, people didn't know, right? I think some people did, but I think the average person just didn't know what was happening. Very, if you don't know the story, I mean, this was Stan Lee at the end, and he should not have been there. It's you can go look up. Bleeding Cool had a bunch of stuff at the time. A bunch of the stuff got reported. I think Comic Speed did some stuff too. Yeah, very, very depressing. So let's see. Yeah, I'm down with a Bay Area con again. That'd be cool.
Hey, parties at Isotope with people. Sweet.
Yeah. First time in a decade they'll do the big. Hopefully they get some good people there. Now I've never been to a Fan Expo, but they've done a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Do they do a lot of Canadian ones?
I want to say Fan Expo Toronto, or is what I normally
Yeah, because there's a few different ones.
It's kind of like a Wizard World or Heroes.
It's like a lot of celebrity cons, right?
Yeah. There's a Canada one. The Dallas one is a huge one.
Yeah.
A Fan Expo.
Yeah. But they do have comic people as well.
Yeah.
It's not. I think it's less WonderCon with industry panels or a San Diego or New York Comic Con. It is more a celebrity con, but they have comic people there. There will be vendors. It'd be great if they actually started to spruce up their, because you get a lot of these panels at these cons that are just like, gonna get the cast of this random movie back together to say nothing.
Feels like seeing Night of Chasing Amy.
I mean, there's not, Marvel is there to give an announcement about new material. That's just not what they do at these type of conventions. But actually, for the most part, they don't even do that at WonderCon or San Diego anymore anyway. So
it's D3 and Fandom now.
Nah, they don't even do that for the comics though. Well, Fandom a little bit, but D23, they do any Marvel comic stuff at D23? I don't think they do. Not like announcements. I usually pay attention to D23, and I don't.
They might not have. I mean,
no, I don't think they do.
It just seems like their Marvel and DC are kind of pulling back from comic stuff in like the big conventions.
They don't need to, right?
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation before. But I think wasn't D23 supposed to be last year? So that's why it feels like it's been a long time since there's been one. Because I think it was supposed to be last year. The memory serves right. That sounds right. Because it's every other year. They don't do it every year. So Yeah, we'll see Fan Expo. It'd be cool. It'd be fun. Maybe not. Maybe not. WonderCon, but it's something. So to what?
D23.
We went to D23. Yeah. So, but there
2
was
years ago we went, so they wouldn't have done it.
Oh, so it would be 2021. They're not doing it. They're not doing it D23 this year, are they? No,
they're just saving it for 23.
Are they?
I don't know. I just said they're saving it for 2023.
Oh.
23.
Yeah. So 2022. Okay. Yep. So they're coming back 2022 at the Anaheim Convention Center. Yep. So they are coming back. So next year, which is smart. This is smart. There's not good.
No, especially when we just get the board meeting stuff that gets dropped, and everyone's like, blah, and then they still drop stuff without us knowing.
Board meeting stuff. Oh, yeah, you mean like
when they did the announcement,
the Disney investor calls and everything?
Yeah, the investor call thing.
Yeah, they always do. They always do that.
But then they still drop things like Book of Boba Fett, right? So.
Oh, I mean, they're going to have stuff at the investor meetings. They're going to have announcements at the, investor meetings are not traditionally set up to be like a convention, but Disney has taken it to they're announcing it to investors, but they're really announcing it to their fans so then they can show the investors, look at the excitement over our stuff, go check social media, we are every trending topic.
They're just they're showing them live updates on one screen of social media, and then they're just saying, releasing this stuff over here. Watch social media blow up.
Yeah. No, they know what they're doing. A couple sad stories for this week here, and one's just a thing going away, but something else. But we'll get to the first. We'll get to the less important thing first. Madfire, which is a comics platform like Comixology. It's a digital app. They went bankrupt and no longer update or support anything. They have shut down. And this happens regularly. The problem here is they are the backing of multiple major comic companies' own apps. So Archie, Boom, Scout Comics, I'm trying to think what else, IDW. These are all the backing of their own comics. So this is outside of Comixology. This is the company that existed to power these companies' own digital comic apps. And they just shut down. Not necessarily overnight, but it was clearly this sort of came out of nowhere for most people. So a lot of people who had purchased comics through these companies can now no longer access their digital comics. I know that you're going to be able to get some of it downloaded. That may have already ended, though. I want to see you had they basically announced, what day is this on? This is on this was on Thursday, that you had till the end of day Friday to download all your comics.
What? Really?
Yeah. No, this happened extremely fast. So I don't know if this was something that had been maybe made announcements and people just didn't hear about it. I only heard about it on Thursday when the story kind of blew up. But I don't see dates. Yes, on April 7th, they went into basically bankruptcy, but I don't see a date on when that was posted. So I did not see this till the article started hitting on the 29th. And you had to the end of April 2021 to download your content. So you basically had like less than 48 hours.
Oh, geez.
But obviously, how many people see that? 2%, 5%, maybe. Like, very few people would actually have seen this.
So this news means the comic industry's dying, right?
The digital comic industry took a big hit. I mean, it's tough to compete against Comixology. I don't know what the company is doing with these apps. In the meantime, I'm assuming they're just, specifically with Archie. it said, and so this is reading from Comic Resources. Archie announced it's shutting down its Madfire powered app. It noted it would set users up with a 1-month trial with Comixology Unlimited, explaining, "You will find almost every comic currently on the Archie app and more via the service for a lower price than you paid for Archie Unlimited." So, Comixology Unlimited is a great deal for independent and small press comics. Very similar to DC Universe, Infinite, and Marvel Unlimited. So it's not everything, but it's a good chunk of stuff at an extremely reasonable price for not the most current comics. So yeah, man, this is just one of the and for sure, of course, you could lose your entire comic collection in a fire or a flood, or like with Toby, you could have water damage or termites or whatever, right? I mean, I'm not saying
you lose your entire comic book collection because you missed an email, or an email went to a spam folder.
Yeah.
And you didn't have time to click download my collection.
Yeah, there's a lot of just be aware when you're getting into this stuff that it could go away tomorrow. I feel like Brock and Toby, you guys probably heard a little bit about this, how PlayStation was going to pull the PS3 store and all the games.
They did.
No, as far as I know, they put it's still available.
Okay,
you could still.
There was a lot of backlash from the community when they announced they were getting rid of the PlayStation 3 store and all the support for that, because people were like, we still use the PlayStation 3 because
it's the only one. I mean, I never went to the 4 or 5, so I'm still on the 3.
Yeah. So the PS3 and PS Vita devices, they said they're keeping it around. The PSP is stopping as of July, but that's fine. I mean, everyone uses a Vita anyway. But they said, the feedback was so intense that they're keeping it around. The PS3 is a juggernaut and it has so many games that you cannot get on the PS4 or PS5. So,
because the companies haven't updated the libraries fast enough for people to go, want.
Specifically with Sony, the belief is they don't have a lot of interest in back catalog. They want you to play the new games. They don't want you to keep obsessing over the same old games. I don't know.
All I know is they gave us a free download of the Horizon Zero Dawn complete, and so I just downloaded it digitally, so I had it, even though I have the physical copy of it.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is things like, so I went back and played the Final Fantasy VII remake, or not the remake, the remaster or whatever, the original, and I really enjoyed going back and playing it. It's like I like the ability of going back digitally for some of these games and being able to do that, and I think that's where they lack a lot of the times, is that back catalog of stuff that you might not think it's good investment, but if you can get a couple bucks here and there from people downloading something that's just sitting on a server, like, why not? Like,
yeah. But I understand that there is a significant cost to host these servers and everything. So I totally understand. But they should.
I think they have enough money to get another warehouse.
Probably quite a few warehouses. Thank you for reminding me on that Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition too. I never went in to redeem that.
You didn't?
No.
The new Final Fantasy is on PlayStation 3?
No, the Final Fantasy VII Remaster is part of PlayStation Plus now.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation. The remaster one was PlayStation 4?
4 and 5, yeah.
4 and 5. And then
5,
they're dropping new-ish content with the next one. Around what's her name?
Not happening with me then, because I'm on the 3. So
one of the updates.
I'm good.
Oops. Help if I.
The other sad news.
Yeah. Let me get back to what the hell I was getting to. Madfire's gone. Go use Comixology. That's really your only choice. So actual real bad sad news. If my thing will load here. John Paul Leon comic artist for. Wow, I am absolutely nothing is loading on my computer. What is going on here?
Sheriff of Babylon, right?
Let's try this again. The covers.
Covers, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's done a bunch of different stuff. Earth X was one of his first big works.
Okay.
Working with Jim Krueger and Alex Ross. Wintermen, that was a Critter series. He did the Batman Creature of the Night book with Krupusek a couple years ago.
That was really good, except for the delay in book 4.
Yeah, it was. Krupusek's had a lot of health problems over the last number of years. That is, unfortunately, I think just a thing that's going to happen. So he passed away at the age of, I believe, 49, if I'm not mistaken. 49. It was following a battle with cancer. I don't know that they've come out and said specifically what happened. He was doing current work. He was working in a Batman Catwoman special. He may have actually completed that because that was solicited. So he may have actually finished that. I don't know. I'll have to check. So like current work. So I don't know, I don't know how big of a surprise this was, or if they were expecting it, or if something happened and he took a turn for the worse out of nowhere. Not to put you on the spot, Kevin, but you had been in contact with him as part of just your...
Yes. And
your job and stuff. So
I am on the topic I'll talk about here. I am kicking myself about the last time I talked to him, I want to say was February of this year. And the instructions were that he was going to do a commission for me in May. And I literally had an email I was going to send him the day after I saw this news.
Oh.
Like I saw the news on Sunday. I had an email already typed that I was going to send to him on Monday. Because I didn't want to be the jerk who's like, May 1st, here I am. I wanted to give him a couple of days.
Yeah.
But he said, get back to me at the beginning of May and we'll get it done. And from a selfish perspective, it's terrible news. But from a non-selfish perspective, I mean, he's 49 years old, so talented, and a super, 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 more important than talented, a super nice guy. No one has a bad word to say about him.
Yeah.
Awful. I am, he was busy in February, so it's not like I'm the one who said, "Oh, let's wait till May." So I'm kicking myself just for the universe circumstances, not necessarily some mistake that I made. But yeah, this feels like something out of 2020. That's what I had the email typed and ready to go the day of that I saw that news. This is very, very 2020 game right now. But yeah, everybody who hasn't read his work, I mean, that Batman book is really good, but he has kind of that real dark. His style would be suited for something like Criminal, which is what makes Earth X such a cool book, to see him doing like big sci-fi and Marvel characters. So anybody who hasn't read Earth X, they've done a bunch of those X series since that, but the best one I think is Earth X, and that's the first one.
Yeah, he's I like his art. It's very very, very noir, very sketchy.
Yeah.
Like you said, kind of reminds me a little bit of I'm gonna have to think about this. There's an artist. There's another kind of modern current comic artist that his stuff always reminds me of, and I'm completely drawing a blank on it. I would nominate.
I'll
figure out the name at some point.
I'd nominate Michael Lark as one who's been influenced by John Paul.
Sorry, it was great radio.
Didn't he do some work on DMZ?
Oh, he reminds me a little bit like Guy Davis.
Yeah,
similar, like with that real thin pencil, that real thin, that real thin line work. That's who it was. Yeah. And he's not. he's not like a 12 issue a year superhero artist jumping around at Marvel and DC forever. I mean, that was never his thing. He does these very specific projects, these very unique books. Again, something like Batman Catwoman, this was a one-off. This was a part of the main series. This was, again, that'll be his. I'm assuming that's going to come out. He did that Static Shock. Second Static Shock book from a number of years ago. I know there was a comment here on the beat. They had collected a bunch of tweets. Dwayne McDuffie, Robert Washington III, and John Paul Leon are all died before the age of 50. So 3 of the major people involved with Static Shock from the creation and then the sequel series. Super depressing.
Well, who's Mitch is you speaking of Sheriff of Babylon, I think on Instagram or was it Twitter, he posted a story about being too nervous to go say hello to John Paul because he was basically saying that's his favorite artist.
Yeah, and I could see it. Yeah, I could see the influence.
You can see the style there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he also did the Further Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix.
Hey, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The first stuff he really was credited with is that RoboCop Dark Horse series, 1992.
So there's a memorial up. Obviously, they've had well past their funding goal. But if you want to donate to the family and for funeral services and stuff, you could do that at GoFundMe. Just look up John Paul Leon, Leon. Family Memorial. Family Memorial. You'll be able to get the link there to make a donation. So, yeah, terrible. Well,
he had battled cancer apparently for 14 years because he was originally diagnosed like back in 2008.
Yeah, I was reading that. I didn't know. I don't know if this was a more private thing or a more public thing. I personally don't know. But if you're currently working on multiple projects and telling people to email you in May, I don't think this was something knew was coming.
We had multiple conversations, and his conversation with me was always about my schedule, and never, ever, ever, ever mentioned. And not that I'm like some close personal friend, but I just mean he was all about the work and framing everything through the work. And there was never even a hint of, hey, I'm going through something. Can we check in 6 months or nothing like that? It was all about his schedule.
And, it is possible. Some people are just like, well, I'm just going to act like everything is normal.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I don't want to, I just don't want to, how I'm trying to say this. I don't want to deal with that. I'm just going to go on my day to day and whatever happens. And that's,
right.
That's a perfectly acceptable thing too. That's probably more difficult than shutting down completely and just kind of succumbing to it. I mean, just having to get up every day and act like everything's normal. Like that's got to be tough. So another loss to the comic industry. We lose a lot of the old timers. Obviously the golden age is basically completely gone, but with almost no exception at this point. Very, very, very few, and significant members of the Silver Age comic community have passed away, and we are too deep. Too many people from the 70s, 80s, and now into the 90s are starting to go, and that is the cruel ticking of time. But what are you gonna do? We're gonna move on. We got more stuff to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. It's really sad. It really sucks. We're talking about some Falcon Winter Soldier here for a second.
No.
No, Ryan, I think it's a good idea. Let's shift gears as extremely as possible.
I don't want to. I know it's like celebrate the man, celebrate his work. I hope Marvel releases like an Earth X hardcover collection of all his work. I hope DC goes crazy with the Batman Catwoman special and donates a shitload of money to the family. And life goes on, as they say. We're gonna move on. We've got some movie and TV stuff to talk about here. We'll try to kick the back half of this podcast up a little bit.
Falcon Winter Soldier, just to clarify.
Huh?
Not any Falcon Winter Soldier talk, just to clarify.
Well, we're going to talk briefly about the Falcon Winter Soldier here. This was a regular. Was that last week?
Yes.
Holy shit.
The finale?
The finale?
Yeah.
Our talk of the finale?
No, our talk about it was last week. Yeah. It was the week before.
But our talk was last week. Yeah. That feels like 2 years ago. Okay. One of the comments that was brought up regularly when people said, well, some of the problems with Falcon Winter Soldier can be easily explained away because a major plot line was cut. They had to sort of edit around it, reshoot stuff, yada, yada, yada. That, according to the director, Carrie Skoglund, who directed all 6 episodes, said the rumor about the cut storyline about the virus, to quote, if it was true, he says, no. Yeah, you can debunk that. So we had about we started shooting in October of 2019, and we had shot about 75% before the production got shut down. So we knew the story we were telling for sure. So when we shut down, we only had about 25% left to shoot. So I think the only story changes we made were small character tweaks. So if your belief that Falcon Winter Soldier could have been better if they had all the original plots involved, well, that's not a thing. So none of that.
What if they cut Sharon's plot? I mean, finding out the stuff of her journey to get to, where she was in Falcon Winter Soldier. Maybe they cut that.
Oh, according to this, they cut nothing.
I almost feel worse reading his interview in the sense that you filmed 75%, then you had this downtime to kind of look at everything that you had, see what
we're good.
Solid. Let's make some minor character tweaks and put the cherry on top of this sundae.
I'll bet money that they hadn't recorded the long bridge walk scene yet, and that was part of the 25%.
Well, originally the stork was on the other end of that bridge, I think, was what was cut. Hey, speaking of, Ryan, there's going to be an article coming up, I want to say later this month, in Rolling Stone, an oral history of WandaVision from conception through everything.
Really?
Yeah. So you probably get some good insight there on if that's still newsworthy.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
But on to the movie and TV news. That's really important.
Yeah, more movie and TV news here. Invincible, very popular. Got an animated series from Amazon, and it's so popular that they just greenlit not 1 but 2 more seasons. So seasons 2 and 3 of Invincible are getting greenlit. Finally watched the first episode. I don't know how far you guys are. I think
I've seen the first 4.
Okay. Brock, you watched them?
I'm first 4 is the same. My roommate and I realized that watching them one by one sucked, and so we said we're gonna bulk watch them, and we just kind of forgot because of Falcon Winter Soldier. So we're gonna go back and watch.
Let's go through it all.
Yeah.
Toby, did you watch them?
What?
Invincible?
10 minutes. The first one. That's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the first episode with Leanne, and she didn't know. Again, no spoilers here. It's still fairly new. I mean, Invincible the comic isn't new, but the show is. I've only watched the first episode, but it hits a little bit harder than the comic. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, stuff is moving.
Yeah. So she didn't know the twist, so that was a great experience getting to the end. She's like, oh, that's a thing. So yeah, that's good. That's good when you get reactions like that. Again, I knew what was coming, but in stills in a comic book, it's one thing.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's cool. But when you animate it, you're like, oh shit.
Oh, that's You know, and something like The Boys, the violence is like super over the top, but you know that's what it is going in, right?
Yeah.
It's not a surprise that this is what the show is going to be. Fantastic first episode. I did a good job. I thought maybe some of the animation was a little stiff. I don't know if that gets better as the show goes on. I found there were a couple scenes of just like very stiff character looking forward with the mouth moving, and
it gets a little better in certain parts. I think that once they got past that pilot episode, they were like, oh, okay, let's, you know.
But I think dead on to the comic. Like, it looks exact. The animation looks exact to the comic artwork. Like, they did not change it dramatically.
It's well done for an animated show. It's really hard to get used to Jameson as the dad's voice.
That is a little off.
It's
just because I know what he looks like. But he's got the mustache, so that helps. Yeah.
But you're just like, okay, right.
Have you guys got to okay, so this is episode 5 where they get introduced. There is one thing. Oh, I don't know. Should I say this?
No. Or I'll take my headphones off and
take your headphones off. I don't care.
Well, it's no. Leave it on, Kevin. It's not that it's different. It's there is a character who is designed differently on purpose in the show.
Oh,
do you know this?
No. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you because you'll see it anyway. I mean, it's not a big deal. You may actually know it and you don't realize you know it. Isotope. Do you know the character of Isotope in Invincible?
Yeah.
So you know who he is, right?
No.
No, but I mean, you know. Do you know who he is in the comic?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know anything about the show.
Sure, right. But that's not what I'm saying.
Wait, he's in the show?
So, Isotope?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Isotope is James Sim from Isotope Comics in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right.
In the show?
So, yeah, of course Isotope's in the show because he's a character in the comic. I mean, again, it's extremely accurate.
Oh, shit.
But he doesn't look like James in the show.
He doesn't look like James.
Oh, why?
Right? He posted about this. It was on Twitter or Facebook. I can't remember who posted about it. He said that they did this show so fast. They basically called him and they're like, you got to sign off on this right now or we can't do it. We have to change it. And he didn't have time to like go through lawyers or do whatever he had to do. So they just went with a different design. But I mean, it's clearly James. You know, I mean, it is. It's supposed to be, right? That's who he's based on. But yeah, they changed the look of the character for the show to it doesn't match the comic version because it's based on it is I don't want to say based on a real person, but it is James Sim from Isotope Comics.
I thought you were going to let loose a real spoiler. That's why I was going to take my headphones off.
No. I just because it says he's in episode 5, so so maybe he'll be in the next episode. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, just when I knew about the show getting announced, I was like, are they going to have Isotope in it? That'd be kind of neat. Is James going to be in this? It's like, oh, but he doesn't look like him. But whatever.
As long as the Higginsator looks like the comics version, that's what I care about.
Am I in there?
It would be awesome if he was voicing the character too.
That'd be great. But James, not that he couldn't, but
does he look like nothing like him now?
Doesn't look like him at all. I mean, you could see.
There's similarities, but it's
what
not.
What episode is he in?
Episode 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but Invincible, getting more episodes. Can't wait for that. Got 2 more little things here to talk about, and we're gonna get out of here. Green Lantern. We have a cast. HBO Max. We get the first official casting for HBO Max.
And you have no idea who it is.
HBO Max's first DC original television show, right? I mean, Green Lantern's going to be HBO Max's first. Doom Patrol 3 is going to be on there, but as far as HBO Max, Finn Whitrock will be cast as the role of Guy Gardner. I know he was in American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And all I care about is if he's an asshole, then he's got the role.
Oh, so the American Horror Story has like a troupe of actors that just play different roles each season.
Right. Leanne watched
he's
7 seasons.
Yeah, and the one I think I first saw him. I don't know if he was on the earlier ones, but I first saw him in the one called Freak Show, and he is an amazing asshole. Just in that particular season, an amazing asshole. I don't picture him as Guy Gardner at all, just because he doesn't look like Guy Gardner. In any way. But as far as
he is, a very handsome man, right? And Guy Gardner, Guy Gardner could not be an attractive person, but he's kind of, too many punches to the face.
No,
but if you said
he has a punchable face, that's the thing.
You said they cast Finn as Kyle Rayner, I would say perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that too. But he does have a punchable face, I think.
Well, as long as he can be a cocky asshole, then
don't worry.
That's perfect.
Don't worry.
Perfect. Yeah. Yep. So that should be interesting. Now, the thing I've been waiting to ask all week.
Oh shit!
Well, not all week. All couple days. All 2 days. All 2 days ago. It felt like forever. All from yesterday. From
Monday.
Just literally yesterday.
Yeah, it
feels like forever.
Time is just no longer a good concept.
I want to get everyone's opinion on this. So Disney released a nice little video narrated by Stan Lee, which is always nice.
Hold on.
Using dialogue.
Does Kevin watch this?
I did watch this. Yeah. This is about the length of trailers that I'm comfortable watching.
Yeah.
As long as they're crammed together, he's good.
In one trailer.
So they acknowledged, just, hey, things have sucked. We're ready to go back to the movies and start the MCU back up. Here is all our Phase 4 stuff. Actually, I should. Do I have the full list?
Lots of prep work done for this podcast, folks.
Well, I have a different thing here that I'm talking about. So yeah, so they officially went through and gave us dates for some stuff, but mostly just gave us full names and some teases for some cool stuff. And they showed us Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals. I think the big one for a lot of people is The Marvels. So that is Captain Marvel 2 will be known as The Marvels, with the Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel S as like the Marvels. So that's clearly the show is going to dovetail, I would guess, directly into the Marvels movie. Official date for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. Black Panther 2, now retitled Black Panther Wakanda Forever, on July 8th, 2022. And, all the other movies, Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange, Thor, Love and Thunder, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So I think we got, if I got dates here, Black Widow is July 7th, 2021. Shang-Chi is September 3rd. Eternals November 5th. Spider-Man 3, December 17th. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, March 25th. Thor, Love of 2022. Thor, Love and Thunder, May 6th, 2022. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, July 8th, 2022. The Marvels, November 11th, 2022. So that's 3 movies this year. No, that's 4 movies this year, 4 movies next year. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, February 17th, 2023. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. I would expect at this point those dates to hold. I think we're confident that at least enough people will see this stuff in the theater to make it worthwhile. Black Widow is going to be on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I would think personally, if it does well, they will just have Shang-Chi Eternals and not Spider-Man 3, obviously, but Shang-Chi and Eternals, I think they would just do that as well on Disney Plus if the numbers are not the strongest in the movie theaters, especially once we start to get to Eternals in November. If COVID numbers do start ticking up. Now, of course, this could all, we could reach that magical herd immunity, which seems unlikely, and maybe they'll just go full bore in the theaters, and Black Widow will be the only one, but we'll find out soon. So we got a little bit of new footage for Black Widow.
What was the thing you wanted to ask? You've been waiting to ask. You're getting to it.
We got some footage for Black Widow. We got a little bit of footage for Shang-Chi, things we had already seen. We saw our first footage of Eternals. Look, Eternals is a tough sell. It's an MCU thing, so it's not a tough sell, right? But Eternals, of all these projects, it's a heady concept, and it's, I think even at a basic level, people can look at Captain America or Thor and be like, yeah, okay, I know what this is. Eternals is not that. You can't look at this. They choose to have the first footage of Eternals be a group of humans in standard American clothes standing together doing nothing.
Hey, but that guy runs fast.
I looked at it and I was like, is this the Inhumans? Is this like the Inhumans TV show? Like this doesn't. They're everything in Marvel Phase 4, regardless of what I think of Falcon Winter Soldier. The costume is amazing. WandaVision, the costuming's perfect. Doctor Strange and Spider-Man obviously really good. They have absolutely nailed the costumes on all this stuff. What? Like, if you showed 1,000 comic book fans that screen without context, not a single one of them would say that's from the Eternals, right? This is look, obviously people are going to know who the actors are. They're going to know it's the Eternals. But if you were to divorce yourself from that context, if you showed them a picture of the first footage of Iron Man or the first footage of Captain America, people would be like, yeah, that's Iron Man. That's Captain America. Like, what? Why would this be the thing they show? It's nothing. It's real. It clearly was never going to be like the Eternals. It's going to be its own thing, right? It can't possibly be 1% of what Jack Kirby's book was. It just isn't going to be that. That's a fucking acid trip. Like, it's just not going to be that. But I don't. Why is this the thing they show? I want to know you, Kevin. I want to know your opinion, Toby. We talked a little bit. I know a little bit what you think, but what's the thought process?
It's funny you want to go straight to Kevin. I'm just smiling.
I said both of you. I said I want to know Kevin's opinion because we haven't talked. Toby, we have talked. I still want you to give your opinion here.
Wait, we did?
Me and you, yeah, we talked very briefly about this on chat.
What did
yesterday.
I say?
You said you wonder if this is going to be their first flop.
Oh yeah, but it has Angelina Jolie in it, so I'm in 100%. Seriously, I'm in 100%.
We're all in 100%. Yeah. Like, come on.
Well,
they are being very coy with it as far as like releasing any images at all, even still photos, even like some poster mock-up.
Yeah,
it's just. I don't know. It's not really their style usually to be this kind of. I mean, they'll do the secret thing about, this character might be in something or might not be. But I mean, as far as a whole project.
I mean, we legitimately didn't get a lot about Shang-Chi, but I feel like we've gotten nothing about Eternal until this. But it's still nothing.
So there must be an Eternals trailer cut since it was supposed to come out last year.
I would think, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's the trailer debuts with Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean,
and everybody goes, "Holy shit! It looks amazing! It looks like Star Wars and Dune and like throw in whatever all combined, and this is going to be the most amazing Marvel movie ever."
Huh?
That's a high hope.
I didn't. I'm not saying I think that's going to happen. I said maybe Marvel drops the trailer and everybody goes, "Oh shit, we were all worried and wondering and everything." They obviously know what they're doing. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I hope. Because I don't know what the heck this was.
When that guy ran in on the side, I had flashbacks to Neil Gaiman's Eternals, and I was like, I remember being so pumped for that, and then being so let down.
Well, I think that is the
the premise
of this. That book more so than the Kirby stuff, and that's why I said, like, I don't know what they do with this. Eternals, as we said before, are fit in a weird place in Marvel history. They're all but ignored in almost every MCU thing ever. I have not read the current series, so I don't know how they're reinventing them for today. But I've heard it's fine. But these are characters with little to no fans. That's had little to no impact on the Marvel comics.
Well, I think the Kirby series, now I haven't read it in years, but I think the Kirby series isn't actually set in the Marvel universe.
No, yeah, it's totally its own thing. Yeah,
I know the Hulk is in one issue, was mandated by editorial, but I think Kirby made it like a Hulk robot from a ride or a TV show or something.
The game in one is part, I mean, it's in the Marvel universe, but
and this one has the Black Knight, right? So
it's just so disconnected from anything. So look, I fully expect it to be great. 85% of the Marvel movies are like B+ or higher, right? I think they have an incredible success rate. I just got nothing out of this.
I have a question for all of you guys, though.
I don't know shit about the Eternals, right?
Yeah, but just here, not about, well, it could be about the Eternals. Just don't worry about how I'm going to make it happen. Let's just say magic. We'll do the hand wave, the MCU hand wave. It's magic. So you've seen all these dates. I'm going to offer you a magical solo advanced screening of any one of those movies before it ever comes out. Which one would you watch? You don't have to wait until the theatrical release.
Out of all the ones they announced?
Yep.
Oh, my answer is super easy.
Don't say Black Widow.
No.
And mine's super easy too.
I mean, Doctor Strange. It's like not even a question. Doctor Strange.
I'm Ant-Man Wasp. Quantumania, baby.
I got to see what Sam Raimi does.
Toby, what about you?
I'm thinking out of this bunch, I honestly don't know.
So Black Widow. I mean, it's so close.
Don't waste your magic ticket on that.
Shang-Chi, Toby got me worried about Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I'm worried about it too. I honestly, I think I'll go. I'm not gonna go against Coogler, so I'm gonna go Wakanda Forever. Because Coogler, I'm not betting against. I've liked every single one of his movies thus far, like including all his independent movies before he made it big.
Yeah.
So I'm not betting against that guy. I literally loved every single thing he's done so far. So I'm going to go with Coogler.
See, part of my premise was like you don't know anything other than the title and whatever you already know. You have to choose off that. So my own answer to my own question is kind of a cop-out in that I would say I need a little more information on Guardians 3 to know if I'm going to choose that. But if I just going right now without knowing about Guardians 3, I would probably pick Doctor Strange. Although seeing Kang would be pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, Guardians is up there. I gotta say I'm super excited for Black Widow though. But
don't waste your magic on that.
I'm just saying I'm super excited for that one. But out of the ones where we only got a film played on, like only the title, probably the second Panther movie.
For me, Black Widow, again, it's super soon. I think I know what to expect out of that movie. I don't expect too much surprise. Shang-Chi, like I said, I think Toby got me a little scared for that. I thought the trailer looked great, but I was super excited for Shang-Chi. We'll see what happens. Eternals is a giant question mark, and I don't have the fucking slightest idea. Spider-Man 3, I've liked both Spider-Man movies. They're very solid and very fun, but, Spider-Man 3 might be my second answer, only because I want to know if it's this nightmare live action Spider-Verse movie or not. I think that I want to see how wrong every rumor is. Doctor Strange is my answer because I need Bruce Campbell in a Doctor Strange movie doing some shit. I need it.
You need more Wanda.
Yeah. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, never mind. That's my first pick. Are you kidding?
Yeah, Toby, I was surprised you didn't choose that.
Oh, I mean, I still get read my memory. I'm going with that one. Sorry.
I mean, of course, I'm gonna watch it.
No, I'm going. That's number 1. Panther number 2. Guardians number 3.
I'm gonna be hopeful. I'm gonna be hopeful.
Sorry.
What are you scared of? That it's Jane Foster, or that it's like Ragnarok?
No, that's like Ragnarok.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's Ragnarok. Fuck him.
Black Panther. I think
so bad.
I just rewatched it and I enjoyed it quite a bit more than the theater.
Tessa Thompson, doesn't matter. She is in that movie. That's number 1, right there.
I think with Wakanda Forever, they are going to pull out all the stops for that movie. I not that I have low expectations or high expectations. I have pretty equivalent expectations of the first one.
I know he was working on a show, like a Wakanda show. Is he turning the show idea into a movie now because what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. But they are going to pull out all the stops for this movie, so I expect Black Panther to be good. I like Captain Marvel a lot, so I got, I would say high hopes, but again, pretty decent hopes for Marvels. Ant-Man and Wasp probably be my number 2 and number 3. I love the first 2, so and Guardians. Ooh, man, that is, it's 50-50 right now with me, and Guardians will determine how the rest of this franchise goes.
We're all waiting
50-50 whether you're going to watch it?
No, it's 50-50 right now.
Well, it's going to depend on for Love and Rockets, or whatever it's called.
Now, Thor: Love and Rockets.
Yeah, bring it. That's my number 1.
That I would watch.
That's my number 1.
That I would watch.
No, see,
Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorites. Guardians 2, one of my least favorites. So,
well, and the thing is with Guardians, it's whether or not you're going to get a Leanne cut.
Yeah, that's what I need. So yeah, there we go. I am excited to see what they got coming. I'm a little scared on a few of these. Eternals looks like absolutely nothing. We'll see what it is. I have no clue. I got no idea.
So I know I stepped out for a minute, but did you guys discuss the last, the 4?
The 4? No. So that is the undated, unnamed thing they show at the end. Nothing to really talk about.
Watch on their magical ticket.
They mentioned 4 got announced before, but it's in Phase 4. So Phase 4 for Fantastic Four. 2023 makes sense. I mean, we've got the first half of 2023 planned out.
Yeah, they'll this will probably be the November,
a Christmas. Yeah. What's that?
It's going to come out in 2024.
April 4th, 2024. What is April 4th, 2024? Let's take a look.
Not only that, it's going to close out Phase 4. It's going to be the finale.
It'll be the last one.
Yeah.
And then we get Young Avengers.
Well, they did miss the anniversary this year.
So April 4th, 2024 is a Thursday. Plenty of movies have Thursday releases. That 4424, that'd be okay. Be okay. I can see it.
My bad.
God, that's a long way away.
That is a long ass time.
No,
that's like 3 years from right now, essentially.
They'll drop it on
material they can fill out before then.
They'll drop it on December 4th of 2023.
Doom will be teased for 3 years straight.
Oh.
So where do we first get Doom?
Marvels. No, I actually think maybe in a Black Panther one at the end.
I'd say it would be the Doctor Strange.
I thought you could have fit it in Falcon and Winter Soldier when they're referencing the neighbor of the neighbor of Sokovia, like buying up all the resources. Yeah. Just drop the name Latveria, and you're good to go.
Yeah, they're gonna hold on to that to the very, very end.
Yeah.
I would say there's a 0% chance we have Doctor Doom as the villain in the first Fantastic Four movie. 0.
What are the chances of?
What episode is this? $4.99. Okay, so
because they did.
Well, what are you thinking? The Mole Man?
No, just about anything else. But he is not. He is not like the main primary villain in the first one. It just doesn't make sense, right? They've done it in the other two, so.
Well, because of that, it'll be Galactus.
I don't think they'll do that either.
So, what are the chances of Wolverine showing up in that Marvel movie?
Marvels?
Yeah, now that it's called Marvels, I actually think this chance is kind of going away.
Why would Wolverine be in a Captain Marvel movie?
That was a big rumor. That was the big internet rumor from like a few months ago that Wolverine, or maybe more than like last year, that Wolverine was going to be the first MCU Wolverine appearance was going to be in Captain Marvel 2.
Why?
Because he's protecting.
Oh, okay, good.
He's protecting Rogue, and Rogue steals one of the Marvel's powers.
Yeah. Everyone knows about that great Captain Marvel Wolverine relationship that goes back 50 years.
Well, that was like the big rumor like a year ago.
When you look at comic book relationships, there's when you look at best friends and characters that cross over constantly, you're like, Thing and Hulk, Batman and Superman, Wolverine and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, they do the fastball special the best.
Stop
it's
hating, Ryan.
It's the pairing that goes great together every day.
Don't fight the internet.
I'll fucking fight the internet, okay? I fight the internet every day, okay?
Hey, what are the chances of your friend Scott Snyder and or Tom with Mitch to make the Conspiracy Man happening in the next Tom King book?
Conspiracy Man?
Yeah.
Conspiracy Man what's the Conspiracy Man?
Yeah, well, if you want a theme song, sure. But what are the chances of your friends putting you in the book? So we have an arch nemesis to Ice Book Man.
I don't know. I'd say probably 0, but you never know. I don't know. That'd be great, but I doubt it.
Campaign to put the Conspiracy Man into a book. His name is Brian Biggins.
I'll get right on it. We got a question here.
You're just
from
jealous,
Tyler.
Brock. You want to be in a book too. You're just jealous.
No.
I'm voting for
I'm already in books. People mistake me for that Simpsons guy all the time.
I'm voting for the Higgins man, the Conspiracy Man, to be in the next Mitch book.
It's just gonna be Ryan doing this in front of a board of weird, crazy shit.
I'm not a horror fiction podcast maker, so I wouldn't be in one of his works. We got a couple questions here from Tyler. Tyler Will, let's get us out of here. He says, got some collected edition questions. I was recently looking into the Wonder Woman run by Mariko Tamaki. Apparently, DC has not released a trade paperback of the current Wonder Woman series in a while, like a year or two. That seems to be an odd choice with the movie out. Not true. Sorry, I'm going to do a little research on the air here. I feel like there's been maybe there's just been hardcover collections of her run, but they tend to they'll do them when they do them. Like I don't think it's like out of the realm of like their normal release dates. Because the most recent one was Wonder Woman 4 Horsemen, which collects through 750, 758. Yeah, I just don't think they've done her. They're not up to her run yet, but it's pretty standard as far as scheduled how far back.
Well, I know COVID
DC
delayed a lot of the trades for like ongoing series. They put those on delay.
And there's some stuff around. Kevin, we can confirm a Starman omnibus. Starman omnibus.
Compendium. It's not an omnibus. It's a compendium.
Starman compendium is getting released. It is this year, and the August 17th. And from what I understand, that page count is correct. Over 1,500 pages.
So it's the whole series.
It's half the series. It is it is almost 200 pages longer than the Bone 1-volume collection.
What?
Yes.
Now,
It
see,
is
here's the problem.
50% larger than the Walking Dead compendiums.
So
those are 1,000 pages.
Okay, so yay, the good news on the New Year's gambling pool, Robinson Starman.
I have let my rep at DC know that is too fucking big.
Thank you.
Too,
Well,
the Walking Dead ones are very large, but
well, they're standard, like
manageable.
They're 8 trades. You know what you're getting. You're getting 48 issues. You know what you're getting out of it. With this, how many total pages are in the Starman run?
I mean, so this is 0 through 42, the 80 pages giant, annuals 1 and 2, secret files, couple issues of Showcase, Power Shazam crossover, and the 4-issue Shade miniseries.
So
that
Ryan,
is a fucking
here's the
fuckload.
Everybody who voted for Starman, yay, you guys, that was the right bet. I have zero interest in buying this. Zero.
Yeah,
At that size.
No, yeah, absolutely not. You cut that in half, at the very least, cut it in half, and we can talk.
It is, and it's also $60.
Yeah,
which is the baffling part to me, because I was like, this has to be wrong. The price and the page count cannot.
I'm having
it's 50% bigger than the Walking Dead's, which are also like 70, aren't they? $69.99.
No, they're 60. I think they're 60.
Are they $59.99?
Yeah, I think they're. I want to say they're.
Either
60.
way, like, look, I love me a big chunky omnibus, but like,
isn't this gonna be a paperback?
It's a paperback, yeah. This is too much.
Yeah. It's not pleasant to read. Just physically, it's not pleasant to read. I hate to say this because we've all been talking about it and bitching about it for so many years. When are they going to put these back in print? I'm just going to let this thing sail right by. I'm not even interested, and I can't believe I'm saying those words.
Yeah, it's just too big. It's just too big. If they did it at half the size, like you said, and do 4 volumes for the whole thing, that'd be perfectly fine. Like the let me get the page counts. Let me get the page counts while we're talking here. Ex Machina.
So
Ex Machina and Ex Machina and Fables compendiums are decent size. They are not small. They are 664 pages. Yeah, so that seems right.
Mm-hmm.
They're big, but they're perfectly readable. Yeah. If this was 700 pages, I think you're 750. You're pushing comfortable level, but I think, and also people would still pay $60 for a DC. You can double your money.
Well, the sad part is like this feels kind of like the reverse of the Flash omnibuses, where that first one was super tiny. And it cost so much. And then they were like, well, we'll release this and it's 75 and then it all, we're just going to go back and redo the whole thing.
I will assume, but that's just that first Fables one is 1,184 pages. Is that right? Is that really that big?
Yeah, but it's a solid size. Like when it's on the shelf.
Fables doesn't seem that big, but I guess it is. Fable. Okay, so and Saga Volume 1 is almost 1328. Is that right? Does a Saga 1? Well, that sits about the same size as Bone, but Bone is way bigger. That does not feel right. I wonder. I'm gonna have to double check these page counts. Yeah, no, it's 1,300 pages. Man, that is huge. I don't know. Maybe they can find a way in like ridiculously thin paper. Kevin's got the Stray Bullets. Yeah, I got that. Yep. How big is that? How big is the?
Because this is not a pleasant reading experience.
Bone is 1,344.
Stray Bullets. Excuse me. This is about the upper limit of a pleasant reading experience, I should say. This is 1,194.
Yeah. So Stray Bullets. So Bone and Fables are Bone and Saga are the same size, and that's actually surprising because that Saga Omnibus terminology. That Saga Compendium does not feel that big.
So the Starman is going to be 300 more pages than this phone book Stray Bullets that I'm holding up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is like feels like an 8-pound book.
Massive. Absolutely massive. Oh, we'll find out. Yeah, Starman's coming. It's coming. I mean, it's in the solicitation. It's in the previews, and I confirmed. And they said, "Yep, that's the page count." And I'm like, "Really? You want to triple check that?"
It's a 2, not a 5, right? It's a 2, not a 5.
Tyler also says, I just got the Thunderbolts Omnibus, which I'm very excited to read. They already announced Volume 2 for January 2022. What are the chances they'll collect the whole Thunderbolts run in Omnibus 1 through 155 or whatever it was? 0, because they will cut out the non-Busek Nicieza, the weird-ass Fight Club Thunderbolts stuff. They will cut out the Warren Ellis stuff. I think they will do the classic Heroes Reborn era Thunderbolts. They will do the return run, but they will not. They may collect that stuff in separate volumes. I don't know if that Fight Club thing would even have an omnibus to collect. That may be like just like a soft cover or hardcover, but that's not well received, so I can't imagine they would collect that at all. But I think 0 that they will do them all. I would say they will do the Busek and Nicieza stuff, all the Citizen Z, Citizen V, all the Citizen V stuff. The more traditional. And they could do a Warren Ellis one down the road. Like they could collect his run. And who took over after Warren Ellis? I'm trying to remember who did it after him. Very Warren Ellis-y type person, but I'm just blanking on who it is. I don't know. Or maybe they won't collect the Warren Ellis stuff. Maybe Marvel will pass on the Warren Ellis stuff for a while, for a couple of years. Maybe they'll just pretend that he didn't do it. Yeah, but at least you're going to get a couple Thunderbolts. Now, Toby.
Yeah.
New Warriors, baby. They're doing the crossover, too. We're getting that New Warriors Volume 2.
Hell yeah.
So do I have to rebuy the Volume 1 so the spine matches?
Oh, did they change the spine?
They changed the spine on the new printing.
Oh, shit.
It has like the traditional, like it has the like the logo and everything.
Okay, be proud that you got it on the first original run. So if you go, I'm a real New Warriors fan. I got on the first print.
I am. All right, we are done. We are going to wrap up. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for listening to us blab on about a bunch of random stuff. We are going to jet here.
This is where we plug all of the stuff we're going to cram into episode 500 next week for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, sure. Episode 500, sure is the thing that happens. This is me realizing I didn't update my Patreon stuff this week, so whoops. Joe Duff, thank you for your continued support. Jesse Peterson over at the Comic Book Matters podcast. Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum podcast. Andrew Nelson Mendez at Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. And Craig Anderson over at Clear Path Coaches. Thank you for your continued support at patreon.com/comicconspiracy. Go to Comicspiracy, bless you.
Thank you.
Go to comicspiracypodcast.com, Apple Podcast, and Spotify for all your previous episodes. Just rate and review us on Apple Podcast if you can. It's always helpful. So, in the meantime, go to comicsconspiracy.biz. We are still shipping and getting stuff out on a regular basis from there. Have all sorts of new stuff added in the coming months. Please check back. But for now, it's just business as usual, but we'll post some updates as we get stuff listed.
Mm-hmm.
Head over to conspiratorBrock.com where you can see Brock's blog, video pull list, and unboxing videos. Check out the Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast, which is Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. And don't forget the weekly interview series called Between the Panels at fanbasepress.com, where Kevin Sharp does some great interviews every week. You can also head over to leannehill.com. My wife, Leanne's website. You can check out all her artwork, as well as etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt. Please go on Twitter. You can follow all of us. Ryan Higgins, Ryan, that is myself. Brock is Best Basement, BES Basement. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie is Insanity in Chaos. Kevin is That Kevin Sharp. And the store is Comics Con Store. Please check out all of us on Twitter and, follow us, yell at us, harass us.
No, yell at Ryan. Don't yell at us. Just yell at Ryan.
Everyone yells at me. No Geek Box this week. We're unofficially on like an every other week basis at this point. It just kind of happened.
Part of the end.
Ryan has been incredibly busy. Justin has a kid. Adam wasn't on for a while because he was shipping a game, and I bought a warehouse. I rented a warehouse. So we've been incredibly busy. But good that everyone's doing well. And please check out Manga Machinations podcast. Our good friends talk about manga and anime. All right, guys, my dog's barking. That means it is time to stop this podcast. It's always... She knows the podcast is over. She told me to hurry up. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next week.